My name is Lowman Hutson. I live in El Paso, Texas, and I have all my life. I'm a second generation born in El Paso, and my first ancestor that came here came in 1907 and got off the train down at the Union Depot. He came from the Pittsburg area of Pennsylvania. I live on the west side of El Paso, and I have all my family here. I have grown up with all my family in El Paso. So I was very rich in having so many family members to help me and to be part of my life growing up. At this point, I don't have the family anymore. They've all passed away except for my children, and my children did not return to El Paso after college. So it's quite a difference now than it was growing up with so much family. I was very fortunate to have my grandparents. I knew my great-grandparents. My parents and my aunt and uncle were so close. We lived in a duplex together at one time, and we ran back and forth between houses and had lots of meals together out in the backyard. And that was wonderful for the first 7 years of my life. Then we moved out to the suburbs. That was close to the city center. We moved out to the suburbs, and I remember lots of barbecues, lots of grilling. There were also some picnics in the park, and we ate at home most of the time. I wanted to point out that my mother is the one who taught me to cook. So back in my early days, she taught me to cook, and I loved cooking. So she would allow me to cook some of the dinner meals. She allowed me to make cakes. And this is my mother. This is who I learned cooking from, Nancy Lowman. And my father, as I said, did a lot of the grilling, but the other primary person that influenced my early cooking was my maternal grandmother. And she had a wealth of recipes. Her brother was a chef, and she was always in the kitchen. But her kitchen was so small, it wasn't much larger than a modern walk-in closet, that she would not allow people to be in the kitchen with her and cook alongside her. But she did give me many recipes, give me many pointers, and I remember her cooking from a very young age. She would allow me to make cakes with her, but meals, she needed to be free to move around in her tiny kitchen. And her cooking was more, not really Midwestern, but Mid-Atlantic type cooking. She was born and raised in Maryland and Virginia, and so her Thanksgiving meals, the stuffing was white bread with clams. It was very different from living here on the border. My paternal grandmother was raised in the South, and her, as a comparison, her turkey and dressing was a cornbread dressing, more of a traditional Southern stuffing for the turkey. Again, I was very fortunate to have so much family here that on some holidays we went from house to house to house just eating the entire holiday. And it was quite good food at that time. My paternal grandparents had a housekeeper who was very much like family and stayed with my grandfather for his entire life, even though he had lost my grandmother. She died of cancer at a young age, but Maria stayed with my grandfather and was a second daughter to my grandfather. But she cooked wonderful traditional food, and whenever we would go over there, we always asked for Maria's food. If we were going to stay, we would say, well, that'll be great, but can Maria cook? My grandmother was a great cook, but it was very traditional, like what we ate at home. But Maria really made the best tacos, the best enchiladas, the best tortillas. And I did learn my my taco recipe from Maria. The family continues to eat her recipe to this day. Here's Maria. And we're just so blessed that we had her influence in our lives. Another aspect of family gatherings and cooking and part of my children's memories is going to my father's house. Now, my father and mother were divorced by the time I was an adult, and my father had a house with a swimming pool, and he loved to grill. But his new wife was an excellent cook in the Southern style, and she always cooked so much food, more than could possibly be eaten at one setting. So he cooked all the meat, and he liked to cook a variety of meats at a time on the grill. And she had all of the Southern vegetables and pies and appetizers, and it was very informally laid out. It was not a formal gathering. And the children could swim all day, and then we would have the best food possible in the evening at those family gatherings. My youngest daughter really wanted to learn cooking. She is something of a foodie, and she paid close attention to anyone who would show her the different recipes, the traditional recipes. And after she was in high school and college, she spent many afternoons in her grandmother's kitchen learning additional recipes. They would try things out together, and then they would eat. And so all of the children have taken these various recipes with them into their adult life. My son-in-law of my middle daughter, his favorite recipe of all that she cooks are Maria's tacos. He says they are the best tacos he's ever had. And my oldest daughter and my son, my only son, they like to grill. My son in particular is something of a grill master and has followed a lot in my father's traditions that way. Food to me means family and memories. When I think of food, when I smell certain foods cooking, when I make a recipe that was given to me from someone else, it's all about memories. And it's about family gatherings, family special times, and just thinking about certain food can bring back so many memories of different people. And I know that it has had an impact on future generations. My children and my grandchildren are eating some of the same foods and discussing the same stories and invoking the same memories and traditions in the next generation. And so in a lot of ways, food is about history, but it's also about your future and carrying it forward. And so food is family, is memories, is the past as well as the future for me.